Today we'll learn a few simple and quick ways in which ginger can be used as an effective home remedy against cold, cough, congestion, nausea, bloating and whatnot. My name is Shrikant Singh and welcome to our channel Happy Belly Fish. In my last video I had shown you how you can pickle ginger in 3 easy ways, and in one of the recipes, which was the Japanese pickled ginger, we had about 1.5 liter of ginger tea that was produced as a byproduct. Yes, ginger tea and a lot of it. And this tea is actually quite concentrated. If you leave it on the counter for a few hours, you will notice a lot of sediment settle at the bottom. It is a much stronger tea than the ginger tea that you normally make when you just put ginger julienne in hot water and steep it for a while. So you may like to dilute this particular tea by mixing it with hot water. And if it tastes too sharp, then there is no harm in adding some lemon juice or honey to make the taste more acceptable. This tea can strengthen your digestion power and it can also help you in your weight loss journey. It works great especially when we have this nasal congestion, during the winter times. And it is very effective against cold and cough and sore throat. But there's one more interesting thing that you can do with this tea, and especially something that you'd like to do during summers. If you leave it on the counter at room temperature for about 24 hours, then it will start to ferment. You can see the bubbles here rising, and when you pop it, there you go, that magical sound. I had to open this lid once to burp it in 24 hours so that there's no fear of the bottle exploding. Now it's a lot of ginger water and you may not be able to consume it fast enough. So you can preserve it for the next season by freezing them into ice cubes. These ice cubes have a nice sharp taste and they can be used to make great cooling refreshments. So add them to your kombucha, lemonade or even your beer. So that was ginger tea. Have it warm for therapeutic effects and cold as refreshments. Now let me show you a quick way to make ginger tea with some additional spices. Take a tablespoon of thinly sliced ginger and add it to about 2 cups of water and bring it to boil. There are 2 more spices I add when I make it so that it becomes more effective. The first ingredient is the true cinnamon stick. Use the whole cinnamon stick and not the cinnamon powder. And the second spice is dried lemongrass. And if you have fresh lemongrass, then you can actually even use that. But the nice thing about dried lemongrass is that you can keep it for up to a year and use it whenever you want to. When the tea is ready, remove it from the heat and allow the spices to steep in water. Serve the tea warm along with some honey. When you want a strong ginger tea, then grate the ginger into thin slices or crush it in a mortar and pestle. It is a great tea for headache and also when the sinus is blocked, which is something that I suffer from quite a lot. Now, since I cook with ginger almost every day, I make a paste out of it, and somehow, once when my wife was making ginger tea, she used the ginger paste instead of the whole ginger, and it was really great. Even I was surprised. But the best part of it was so quick to make. You didn't have to steep it for too long. All you had to do was take the ginger paste and mix it with hot water and your tea was ready. So how do you make this ginger paste? To make this ginger paste, blend a cup of sliced ginger together with 2 tablespoons of water into a fine paste. This paste can stay in a refrigerator for more than 2 weeks and you can use it whenever you want to. Ginger paste is a common ingredient in most of the curries that we make, but you don't have to just use it for your curry. You can also use it for making ginger tea and get relief very quickly with this instant tea. The next recipe we'll be making is a home remedy that works really well for someone who has dry cough. But before we move on to the recipe, there's one ingredient that you have to help us grow, your love and appreciation. So please remember to support us with your magic fingers. So for the remedy for dry cough, all you have to do is take a cup of pomegranate arils and crush it using a masher to get the pomegranate juice. This gives you just the juice without any fiber or seeds particles which might irritate the throat. So you do not want them, especially when you have dry cough. You will get about half a cup of juice from it. Now to this juice add 1/4 to half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper or long pepper. I personally prefer to use long pepper as it has a nice lemony aftertaste and it is also considered very good for both digestive and respiratory conditions, and 1 teaspoon of dried ginger powder. Nothing else. This juice has to be freshly squeezed. It cannot be from a can or a Tetra Pak, and it has to be at room temperature. If you do not have ginger powder, you can also make fresh ginger juice. And I will show you later in one of the other recipes how you can squeeze the juice out of ginger. This juice of pomegranate tastes so good with the dried ginger that you will make it a habit to add it each time you have it. You can add it to freshly squeezed orange juice or even lemon juice. So they will all work great. But fresh pomegranate juice is very rich in polyphenols, and that's why it's very effective in dry coughs. Dried ginger that you get from India is much stronger and has a sweet lemony aftertaste. It is used for making masala chai. It is also used as an ingredient for marinating meat. But it is the first thing that comes to our mind when we think of instant homemade cough syrup. And making it is as simple as adding half a teaspoon of dried ginger powder to a teaspoon of unpasteurized honey or raw honey and mixing it thoroughly. You can use any type of honey that you have available, but it has to be real honey. Some honey can be really thick or some honey can be quite syrupy, but as long as it is honey, good unpasteurized honey, it will do wonders. If you do not have dried ginger powder and you're coughing loud enough to wake up the neighborhood dogs who start to cough with you in solidarity, then you can also add the ginger juice. And to make this ginger juice, grate the ginger as fine as possible in a grater and squeeze the juice out. Add a teaspoon of this ginger juice to the honey and this will bring you relief and help you recover. This is a great remedy especially for kids who may not like the strong, sharp taste of ginger candy or ginger tea. And honey helps here in masking the strong and sharp taste of ginger. And what I'm showing you here is not how to make ginger cotton candy, so please do not eat it. So if you soak a piece of cotton in this ginger juice that we had just made, then you can use it for steaming and it can bring great relief from nasal congestion if you're using steaming as an option. Normally we use eucalyptus oil, but it also hurts the eyes. So I switched to ginger juice and it is actually a great alternative. Where you will place this cotton on your electric steamer will depend on the make. So you have to check the manual. Now coming back to dried ginger again, and this is one of the several home remedies for diarrhea. There can be several reasons for diarrhea, something that you will actually find out 1 or 2 days later when you have to actually seek professional help. But during that time, as one of the first remedial step, this is one of the home remedies that you can use or try. Take a teaspoon of dry ginger powder and mix it with a teaspoon of jaggery or unrefined sugar. Take this with lukewarm water and it should help. And if the symptoms do not improve, then you might have to reach out for a qualified medical professional to find the root cause. This last recipe is an alternative for the pickles that I had made in my previous video. If you're someone who knows that you have a weak digestion and you suffer from bloating within minutes after eating, or you're suffering from constant constipation, then this recipe can help. This is very similar to the pickle that we had made, but with some additional ingredients. Grate some slices of ginger, add a pinch or two of salt, a pinch of black pepper, and some lemon juice. If you know that you are suffering from bloating immediately after food, then take about 1 or 2 teaspoons of it. This pickle will be very strong and it will have a very spicy bite of the ginger. So this is where the pickles that we had made in my previous video are a better option. They are much more milder and more pleasant to eat. You'll find the links to the pickles video in the description. So these were the quick remedies for problems that almost everyone suffers from a few times a year. And while this is not a medical advice, some of the home remedies may bring you relief as the first step before you reach out for a qualified help. Ginger, while being medicinal, may not be suitable for everyone. So you must listen to your body, your past experiences with certain types of food, and only then give it a try. And that is true for almost all types of food. A final word about home remedies. People think that they will take a home remedy and it will work like, magic. And there is a small nuance here. They work along with several factors. So if you're having digestion issues constantly, bloating or gas, then a deeper look at how, what, and when you are eating must be factored in. And if you have cold and cough and you're riding a bike shirtless on a beach and drinking cold beer because you feel you have earned it, then these home remedies will not work. Home remedies are most effective when there is a proper circulation in the body. So as much as possible, try to move and breathe. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please remember to save this to your playlist so that you can watch it again when you need it. And thank you very much for your time, for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video.